I usually help executives. In your case, I think I will just say people. I help people
Mm-hmm.
step into the dance
Okay.
between business and life
Okay.
so they can experience
Huh?
the joy of unity and fulfillment
Okay.
today and every day.
Today and every day. Great. Okay. So here's why, in particular, I was looking forward to talking with you. I work with women who are in menopause, somewhere in their menopause journey, somewhere between perimenopause and the end of their life. And most of us are redefining ourselves as
Mm-hmm.
we go through this. And so when I saw that you work with people around reinventing themselves and changing the way, possibly changing their career or starting a business, that's what I want to talk about. So it was
Mm-hmm.
it was wonderful that you came along because it was a gap in the um interviews. We could talk about menopausal memory blips, but we're not going to.
Been there, been there.
They'll just show up.
Yes, I know. Brain fog.
Yeah, most of mine are not brain fog, but more I get the memory blips. I just forget the word I want.
Oh, I'll stand there and point at a painting and I can't think of the word painting. Yes.
Oh, yes, yes,
Like
isn't that?
that thing on the wall.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
thing. So yes, I that's probably my worst, and it's because frankly, because I have this ridiculously large vocabulary, it's not no longer possible to remember all the words.
Yeah. It's brain overload. We have so much information going on up there.
You want to know what it really is?
What?
Women have two verbal centers, one on their
Mhm.
left brain, one on their right brain. The one in their right brain, I believe it is, um, actually is estrogen driven. And
Oh.
as we go through menopause and get to the point where we don't have as much estrogen, it's a real verbal center. It's the one that holds a lot of those names, and it's why our husbands and our boyfriends and our brothers and fathers never remembered anybody's names, but we did.
We had all that estrogen.
Right. And
Aha.
now, and guess what? We don't anymore.
Yeah. Eh.
Anyway,
Yeah, so
so
I can talk about the power of identity and then finding purpose.
right. So we're going to start. I don't know how much you know about how Cammie's program works, but we do 8 or 9 quote mini episodes and they drop the first week we go live, so people get a chance to just get a taste of what we are and what we're talking about and all that kind of stuff. So in our mini episode, I'm going to ask you, I'll preface it with something about identity and changing identity. And I'm going to ask you for your one best piece of advice for women who are going through this identity crisis that we seem to go
Hmm.
through, which is very different than men buying Miatas. My
Hmm.
ex bought a Miata.
Oh, yeah. They have their set of challenges I wouldn't trade for anything. So,
For truth. And then we're going to stop. We're going to turn off the recording and we're going to restart the recording. And we're going to go into a longer discussion about the same thing, but we'll start it a little differently and it'll be about 20, 30 minutes. Are you on a hard stop at 2
No,
or 3? Okay,
no,
just checking.
I go with the flow.
Yeah, you just sounded busy on Wednesday, so that's fine.
Well, I'm leaving for Denver in a couple of days for 8 days. So, the busier you are, the busier you have. The less
Right.
time, I mean, just it
So
doesn't
what's
matter.
in
Nothing
so
gets me
what's
stressed.
so what's in Denver besides some very good friends of mine?
I'm part of a group called Polka Dot Powerhouse.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. And we're having our annual conference celebration. So we're going down to
Cool.
Denver to meet 400 of my good friends.
Okay, I have got to get involved with this group.
Oh, yes.
There is one on the Gulf Coast. It is about an hour's drive from me. It's down the coast a bit
Hmm. But you
towards
don't have
towards
to
bad weather.
necessarily go. Yeah, but you don't necessarily have to go in person because now that we have this wonderful, I mean, during COVID, I met over 100 different women around the country and UK and Canada because we were forced to connect on
Yeah,
Zooms. And we
absolutely.
connected and cried through this screen. It's absolutely amazing. We cried tears of joy and support and just absolutely fantastic group of people.
So I am off to find the polka dot people soon.
You've heard enough about us that you know that it's
Yeah,
time to do
it's
something.
interesting because do you know a woman in Chicago named Erin Marcus?
No.
I think Erin was the first person who told me about polka dot. But uh then I looked it up and there was a new chapter starting on the Gulf Coast, and there's somebody who's in charge of starting a group here in New Orleans, which is I'm just outside of New Orleans, and just haven't that hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't been
Okay,
the right time. That's all.
right. Okay.